Good evening. I was looking at the wrong screen then, waiting for the delay to kick in. That is never going to happen. How are we all? This fine Sunday evening. You'll never guess what. I am very posh now. And I'm not going to be getting hot in the studio anymore. My air conditioning went in today. And it is lovely in here. Perfect temperature. Absolutely blinding, as we say. Thank you very much indeed.
Ooh, super chat. Thank you.
And Flat Earth, get the ball rolling. yes. Talking about getting the ball rolling, we'll start off with this. Have any of you seen Level Earth Observer's reply to my video? I haven't, even in Ben Speed, I haven't watched it all yet, but it made me laugh literally within the first minute and 30 seconds. So, I don't know. Give me a thumbs up if you think I should respond in the side chat. It's, okay, Paul, cheers. Thanks, dude. It's, it was just funny. And the comments are equally as funny because literally all he's done is make a video saying I'm wrong. Doesn't explain why I'm wrong, you know, doesn't give any counter arguments or anything. He just sort of says, no, that's not right. This stupid Glober thinks that this happened. He does nothing to debunk me, obviously. And then the comment section is basically mainly just people insulting me, all of which I've heard before. Well, there were one or two originals that I hadn't heard of. That I hadn't heard before, but I'll definitely be saving them up and possibly stealing them. But yeah, a couple of people are giving me a thumbs up. I could see a thumbs down from Liquid Flames. It's it is tempting to reply. Good evening, the happy little fox, aka Benji. How the hell are you? Very nice to see you as always. Very nice to see you as always. And now you can't accuse me of not saying hello to you. I said hello and announced it with a lovely banner for you as well. No, I can't do more than that to keep anyone happy. But yeah, so have any of you seen it? I'm sure a lot of you have. It's been shared in the Discord server, which is linked below if you're not a member and you wanna join. But it's very funny what I've seen of it, but the comment section is its own kind of separate piece of entertainment, if that makes sense. Absolutely bizarre. Good evening, Brian Pop Robson. Why are you not? I'm sure you were. Brian, weren't you a moderator? Where's your tick gone? It is you, isn't it? Yeah, I suspect it's going to be a quiet one tonight anyway because Wales played today, and so that's all the Welsh people except me out the window. And it's the... I thought, Brian, you were a moderator. I couldn't understand why you didn't have a blue tick. Yeah, and with all the stuff going on for the Queen's Jubilee and everything, I think it's just going to be a quiet one. I didn't really intend going live tonight. I wasn't meant to be here tonight. I was meant to be away, but we came back this afternoon because the weather took a turn for the worse, as it quite frequently does in Wales. But who that's watching this now has seen my community post from this morning, I believe it was. I think I put it up this morning. Can't actually remember now. Let me have a licky-lucky because I don't want to give you misinformation. How do I? That would be absolutely terrible. Yeah, 9 hours ago, so I put it up this morning. Have any of you seen that that community post? Good evening, Audrey 2000. How are you? Yeah, Keela saw it and answered. Just curious, because this is, I think, so. I'll just sort of give you the community post in a nutshell if you haven't seen it. So as some of you know, I'm going to be 50 in November. But what you probably won't know, because you only ever see me from here up, is that I've put on a shitload of weight in the last, well, in suspiciously enough, in about the last 3 years, since I started doing this full-time for a living. So since my job has been to sit on my ass in front of a computer for anywhere between 8 and 16 hours a day. And somebody I know, an acquaintance of mine, he's like a personal trainer and a dietitian, and he's offered a small group of people, there's only 5 of us, his sort of services for free. And for some reason, probably because I'm an idiot, I've signed up for it, I've committed to it. So it's basically 3 one-month modules, excuse me, or 4 weeks, month, whatever you want to say, and it starts tomorrow. So I've got to start doing things like, well, I've got the specifics of it printed off somewhere, but I can't bloody, oh, they're over there. I got no chance of seeing them, and I'm not getting up to get them. But it's doing things like, you know, getting yourself out of bed at the same time every day, which I do anyway. Walking for 30 minutes outside of the house. Damn. 5 days a week. Doing a little bit of weight training, so 3 gym sessions a week, or if you can do it at home, you know, whatever it may be, you can do it that way. And then obviously a diet. And the sort of the object of the exercise is he's called it like a body transformation program. So the idea is to see noticeable changes in your physical appearance. Yeah, Keela, I saw that you I saw that you let me put my false teeth back in. Hello, Keela. Yes, I saw that you said that in the comments of that. I didn't bring it up when you said you'd quite, just in case you didn't want me to. But yeah, I completely get that, because that's exactly the problem my wife has got. She can literally eat whatever she wants and she doesn't gain weight. But I, on the other hand, only have to read an article about a mince beef pie and I put 3 pounds on. I put weight on ridiculously easy. Plus I'm so 99% of the time I've got absolutely no willpower at all, but I'm also one of those people that if I do something, I do it 110%, or I don't do it at all. So I'm going to you know, make a start on it tomorrow. I've set everything in motion as I need to. So the whole point of the community post and that load of waffle was, so as part of this program, we've got to document it and sort of keep like a, I don't know, sort of a video diary, if you like, and show what we're eating, you know, what we're doing for exercise, all this kind of thing. And obviously, with me doing this for a living, I thought, oh, I wonder if anybody would be interested in sort of seeing it all happen. And I don't mean, you know, I start going live at 5:30 in the morning when I get up and then end the live stream when I go to bed. I don't mean like that, but sort of I've got to provide statistics every week. So I've got to weigh every Saturday. I've got to measure around my belly, which was worryingly big because I sent the first measurements in earlier, around my waist, thighs, chest, you know, all the areas people tend to carry fat. You know, so I thought maybe, you know, I could do sort of a weekly kind of update video. You know, this is what's been happening this week. It's been a good week. It's been a shit week. I feel better. I feel worse. I'm fatter. I'm thinner. Whatever it may be, and just put some updates on the tubes. But I won't be doing it on this channel, and obviously I won't be doing it on the podcast channel because it's pointless. So It doesn't fit in with either of those channels. And obviously, I know that there's going to be a tiny number of people that are even remotely interested. But I thought, well, since I've got to document it anyway, I may as well. So I'm going to, over the next week or so, I'm going to be setting up a completely new channel. It'd be creaky something, you know, so people know it's me. I don't know what I'll call it yet. But if anybody's got any suggestions, let me know in the side chat. And I'll upload a video maybe, I don't know, maybe every Monday. So when you see Monday's video, it'll be Monday to Sunday of the previous week. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I can't work out if that makes sense. It made sense when I thought it, but now not so much when I say it. But anyway, it's something I'm gonna do. Watch it, don't watch it. I'm not doing it for any reason other than I want sort of the people that do subscribe to this new channel and that do watch the videos that I upload, and they're only going to be short, maybe sort of, I don't know, 5, 10. I don't know. I suppose it depends. Probably a 10-minute video, just like I say, explaining this is how this week's been. This is what I've been doing. Didn't do that enough. You know the sort of thing I mean. It's not going to be massively exciting, but at least I know that the people who are there to watch it will be there because they're actually interested, not because I've asked them to subscribe, because there's going to be none of that. There's going to be no fancy editing, no nothing like that at all. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll put it in the community doodah on this channel to let people know that it's there. And, you know, I'd love you to subscribe if you're interested. But, you know, if you're not, airy muff. I don't care either way. Will you be joining Dan at the marathons? Keela's asking. I seriously doubt it, Keela. I get tired running a bath, never mind a marathon. So I don't think it's going to be my cup of tea. You know, earlier on, this is purely because I'm an idiot, obviously, and I just realised that my streams don't stay up, blah, blah, blah. If you've got any suggestions for what to call it, like I saw, I think, was it Ben Speed said Creaky Fit or whatever it was? Can you drop them in the comments underneath the video so that I can just go into it and look at them and... Yeah, just put them in the comments because I'm a div and I didn't think of the video. The videos don't stay up. We just said that then. Creaky cookbook. Oh, creaky COVID keto flipping heck, that's a mouthful. Creaky COVID keto cookbook coming soon. I've done keto loads of times. But it's brilliant for losing weight really quickly, but it's not brilliant for keeping it off. It definitely isn't. But yeah, drop your suggestions down in the comment section for me, anybody that's interested, because like I say, the live streams don't stay up anymore, so I'd have to go into the back end of it, and I'm just far too lazy for that. I'm already going into a mad panic at the prospect of having to actually start doing some exercise from tomorrow. If it's just about losing weight, hell. I won't put that on the screen, mate, but I suppose it is. Yo, pal Al, good evening, mate. How are you? The No Accents channel. Yeah, I like it, but it's not very descriptive. The plot hole. When did you sneak in the back door? How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Nice. As Brucey said. Danny D'Lo, how you doing, pal? Nice to see you. You just heard, I don't know, well, you've only just arrived, so you would have missed me explaining to everybody this year that I'm really concerned that I'm going to be 50 this year, and I'm also getting fatter by the year, so I've committed to a body transformation program. Danny, are you happy for me to tell these lovely people why I know who you are? Just give me a thumbs up in the side chat if you are happy, pal. But yeah, I've just been talking about the fact that I'm probably, I shouldn't say twice the man I should be. But and I know I don't look overweight, kind of in the head area, if that makes sense. But I'm definitely, I've taken photos, and I may share them on the other channel. So if you've ever wanted on the new channel that I create, so if you've ever, for some absolutely sickening reason that I will never understand, have wondered what I look like with not much on, to be perfectly honest, then it's your lucky day. Or if you've got any common sense at all and you have absolutely no interest in seeing that, I've lost the headphone. What the hell? Axeman 3D, you put it up on the big screen so I can see it. I put on 3 stone over COVID and I was already a porker. Yeah, I've always been weird with weight, because whenever I put weight on, it's just in the belly, nowhere else. You know, I don't think I look particularly fat in the face or anything like that. It all just gathers and has a party around my waist for some bizarre reason. Good evening, Mr. Andrat. How are you, pal? Nice to see you. If you've got any interest in hearing what I was talking about at the beginning of this stream and you've only just arrived, you'll just have to join the Discord server so that you've always got the link. Because the videos aren't deleted, they're just unlisted. Couldn't think what they bloody call it then. They're just unlisted. So, you know, good evening, Robert Caslow, how are you? So if you are interested in watching what I've been talking about, or if you've seen my community post from today, Mr. Andrat, it won't make any difference anyway. Take care, Keela. I will see you soon. Hope everything's going well with you as well. Unflat Earth says, new channel name, Blinded by Creaky. Are you going to put pictures on? Oh, dear me. Quite possibly. Depends how brave I'm feeling. It really does depend how brave I'm feeling. The Warehouse 42, how are you, pal? Why is this running so slowly tonight? 50 going on fitness. Is that your suggestion, the Warehouse 42? If it is, drop it down in the comment section, pal. I realized after I asked people to comment in the side chat that the side chat disappears with the video. So Stefani has you try that again. Stefani has a Fantasia. Oh, the devil are you, lovely. Yeah, it's like I say, some people will be interested, some people will care, some people won't give a monkey's chuff. But either way, I'm doing it, and like I don't know whether I meant to say it and forgot, or whether I said it and I've forgotten I said it, if that makes sense. But I think doing this publicly, I'm holding myself to a higher standard, because if I, you know, balls it up and quit, or, you know, miss something that's important that I should be doing, then I'm going to be making myself look like a douche canoe. And I've got the t-shirts in my merch store all ready for me, but we'll have to reword it. So that's another reason why I want to do it publicly. Not to say, oh, look at me, but, you know, I will look pretty sexy when I'm ripped. It's more about, you know, so, you know, if I jib out like a pussy, then there's going to be a lot of people disappointed in me, isn't there? So that's kind of why I want to do it publicly. You know, I've checked with a guy that's running the course, and he's quite happy for me to do it. So we'll we'll see. But keep an eye on the community tab for the buff blinder, for the link to the new channel. I'll set it up probably tomorrow. So I need those channel name suggestions coming in. So to all the people that weren't here at the beginning, don't worry, I'm not going to talk about this anymore now, and I'm certainly not going to repeat it. Have you seen the response that Level Earth Observer has made to Friday's video? It's I've only watched probably about the first 2 minutes of it. But it made me laugh. So then I was kind of, I'm gonna respond to this. I want to make this. If it made me laugh that quickly, I'm gonna guess that the rest of the video is equally as funny. And like I said earlier on, all it was just him saying that I was wrong, not explaining why I was wrong, just saying that I was wrong. And then you had dickheads like Daniel Pratt in the comment section then saying really helpful and incredibly insightful things like, see everybody, too much tattoo ink does affect your brain. The guy is an absolute comedy genius. I do not know how he comes up with these things all by himself. But honestly, it's like the whole comment section, with 1 or 2 exceptions, and most of those exceptions are names I'm familiar with, so subscribers of mine that have gone over there and told him what they think. But it is a Softail fan. How are you, pal? But it is literally the entire I looked at it this morning. The entire comment section this morning was just people insulting me, and it's like, really? And there was one guy, and he basically just said, he even called him, and I think he was a flat earther himself, but he even called it, and he said, look, this is kind of why nobody takes flat earth serious. Respond to the science that was talked about in the video, not carry on personally attacking the person giving the information. Sorry, guys.
If you're enjoying the stream, remember to smash the like button right now.
Thought I was going to choke on something, and I haven't even got anything in my mouth. Anyway, I very selfishly have been talking about myself. Whoopsie. Mr. Andrat, you know you've made it when what? When what? You know you've made it when Level Earth Observer makes a video about you? I always find it quite funny when they make responses, because so unless anybody watching this now is a flat earther, in which case you have my sympathies, but the people who watch me specifically because they know I'm gonna mock what these really silly people claim to be real. And they actually think that the vast majority of the people that watch their content are there cheering them on and, yeah, you tell them, of course the earth is flat. They really think that's what they're there for. None of them seem to realize that probably 60-70% of their views come from the normal side, i.e. people who aren't stupid enough to believe the earth is flat. And probably the other, I don't know, 40%, 20, whatever percentage is from us, is people who are as equally dumb. Just saying, just blowing smoke up their ass. Literally just blowing smoke up their ass. That's all they're doing, is just kind of creating the echo chamber filled with yes men. It's a really weird one. Culture Cats has got a new video out, is he? I will have to check that out after this. Yeah, I had Cats on for an hour. Well, no, it wasn't even an hour. Last Sunday. Was it last Sunday? I think it was last Sunday, wasn't it? To talk about his channel. because he's, you know, he set it up that way because, again, he wanted to do something, you know, completely different, because it is really easy to sort of trap yourself on YouTube, if you know what I mean, you know, kind of end up feeling forced into making a certain type of video, which is why I switched from only flat earth and conspiracies, and now there's a little sprinkly of other stuff as well, because, you know, it's also, it's got to keep my interest intact as well, hasn't it? So anyway, so seeing as we've got everybody here, and that Paul likes to hang about the gateway with bated breath, hoping that people will want to call in when we do a call-in show. Let's see who wants to jump on stream right now and say hello, or ask me a question, or whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. So if you do, the Discord server's linked below, and you just need to join the green room, and Paul will look after you and put you through when it's your turn. But in order for it to be your turn, you have to be in the green room, and yeah, so do it. We may as well. What the hell? This was an unplanned live stream. I got nothing to talk about apart from what I've already talked about. I just wanted to get a bit of feedback. Is anybody actually dropping suggestions in the comment section? I'll hang on, you'll have to excuse the feedback, because there's bound to be some now. Hang on, you'll have to excuse the feedback. Oh god, there's not much of a lag, is there? 100 likes. Bloody marvellous, that is. Where's the comment section gone? Somebody stole it. Or maybe it's not there because we're still live. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just filling time.
Ooh, super chat. Pankeo.
Give us a what? A tidy. I say tidy all the time. People ask me about tidy all the time. It's as if it's just sort of something I've made up for this. It is literally something I say about 500 times a day. And Callum as well. I don't know how many of you here are subscribed to my son's channel, Lord Callum, but he's exactly the same. And if anything, he says it more than me. So if I ring him, oh, how did the shop do today? Any good? Oh yeah, it was tidy. It just means good, cool, awesome, whatever. It's like a universal word, and that's why we use it all the time. But yeah, thank you, Warren. Very kind of you, old chappy, old bean. Soxley, good evening. There's a name I've never seen before, or a profile picture. And whilst I can't remember things that I said 5.5 seconds ago, I've got this really strange ability to remember odd things like my national insurance number, my wife's national insurance number, every phone number I've ever had in every house, and every mobile number. Asked me to remember what I was talking about at the beginning of this stream, and you've got absolutely no hope at all. But yeah, what Richard Taylor is saying, very Welsh name. Tidy is a Welsh thing. It is. It's, yeah, and Ben Speed knows as well. Tidy, man. We don't want to get the muns out, because that's really going to confuse everybody that isn't Welsh. Mun is definitely a Welsh thing. And whenever anybody's asked me about what mun means, they think it's going to be something really deep and meaningful, and it's almost, you can see the disappointment on their face when when you explain what it is. Di Davis, good evening, pal. How are you doing? Came across your channel yesterday, laughed my ass off, loving it, doing Wales proud, my man. Tidy like. Thank you, Di Davis. Can't get more Welsh than that, can you? It's, if that's your real name, I was in school with a Di Davis, and I always used to find it incredibly amusing that his name was David Davis. The only thing that could have made it funnier was if he'd lost the S off his surname, because David is also a surname, isn't it? I pray and hope for the day that I meet a David. So you really are David Davis. That is the Welshest thing. So again, in an attempt to confuse all the non-Welshies here, seeing as the topic has come up, Paul, are the people that are in the green room just there hanging out, or are they want to come on and chat? Just let me know. Send me a DM, pal, so I know. See, I've completely distracted myself now. What the dinosaur giblets was I going to say then? Yeah, so your name is David Davis. I can't think what I was going to say then. Bloody Cowan L, man. Oh, there was another man. There was... Oh, you Ben Speed, you're an absolute legend, because you've just reminded me of what I was going to ask him. I wish this bloody thing wasn't running so slow. So, there was a guy in my village known as Die Rope Snap. Right, so... Die Davis. Are you Die the something? So, Die the milk, Die the coal, Die the whatever. Only Welsh people will have any clue what I'm talking about. I'm sure they will. 100%. Nobody outside Wales is going to have a clue what we mean when we say mun. Do I say mun? I'm pretty sure I don't say it in my videos, but it's one of those things that it just comes out in conversation between Welsh people. So, Captain Welshie, how are you doing? It's a very Welsh stream tonight, isn't it? But there we are. It is what it is. My streams are always the most random thing in the world. And to make it even more randomer, I'm going to jump in a call one and join for Fox Ache. Good evening, pal. How you doing?
Oh, hey. Okay, I was sitting around wondering what was going on.
Yeah.
Really good to hear from you. I normally work on Sundays, so I miss your live stuff.
I'm sure I've spoken to you before, haven't I?
You have a couple of times.
Yeah, I thought I had. Like I say, So I remember people... So I remembered that I'd spoken to somebody called For Fox Ache, but I met two people yesterday, and they both introduced them. So I can't remember. Oh, the guy's name was Keith, but for the life of me, I cannot remember what his wife's name was. But I can remember that name because I spoke to you twice at some point in the last 2 years.
John. And I don't think I ran into you because I live in New York City.
Yeah. It's truly bizarre. I'm useless at remembering people's names, but give me somebody's YouTube handle and it sticks like shit to a blanket.
Oh, bad words are allowed here.
Yeah, okay. The odd ones slip out occasionally. Depends what sort of day I've had.
Fair enough. I'll try and keep it calm. So you're talking about Level Earth Observer.
Yes.
Yeah. Now he's the guy with like the really posh accent, right?
Yeah, he's fairly well spoken by sort of general UK standards.
Like he's going into the chat and he's got this entire thing going on about.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
he's kind of somewhere in that area. Yeah.
He's got the voice equivalent of a punchable face to me, honestly. And also, he's an idiot of the first order, and he thinks he's so intelligent. It's just fantastic.
I just find it funny that... So, he's never responded to me before, and to be honest, I didn't expect him to this time, but I'm not bothered either way. But quite often, the videos that end up doing really well are when I respond to a response of one of my videos. I hope I haven't lost you with that sentence there, but
it's a little complicated, but I'm picking up the thread.
Yeah, so the fact that he's responded now and done it in such a terrible way has just made me want to make another reply to that now, because he's been, I don't know how long he's been in the stream for, but I talked about it briefly earlier on, so I've only watched the first couple of minutes of the video, but it was funny and it made me laugh. Because basically all he's done from what I've seen in the first 2 minutes, which I suspect, will carry on all the way through. Bear with me 1 sec, man. Of
course.
I thought somebody had knocked my door then, which would have been the weirdest thing in the world. But anyway, either that or I'm starting to hear things. But yeah, so basically the first 2 minutes of his video is literally him just saying, so this guy thinks that ships disappear over the horizon when they, and you know, so he thinks they're going over water hills or whatever it was he said. I can't remember exactly. He's just not important enough to remember. But it was kind of, okay, so when are you going to explain why I'm wrong? So all I've seen so far is him saying that I'm wrong, but offering absolutely no explanation as to why I'm wrong. So trying to debunk what I've said, essentially.
If there's nothing to say, there's nothing that can be said. If there is no argument, all you can do is just kind of scream in the corner. And just be like, well, I'm right, and that's no good.
Yeah. It always reminds me, and I think I made reference to it in the video I made about him in the first place. It's basically like a schoolyard argument. You know, they just shout things out that really have not that much to do with what I said in the first place. And then when they can see that they can't get sort of the higher ground, they just resort to saying things like I'm bald or I'm old or I'm ugly. Because if you look at the comment section, it's funnier than the first 2 minutes of the video. You know, people like Daniel Pratt saying that, see guys, tattoo ink does affect your brain. And, you know, just that kind of thing, which to me always screams, you've got nothing then.
Yeah, they don't have anything. It's kind of like the person that I've found that I've seen actually on other channels, that guy Jake the Asshole. He's a classic example of that. Like, he just yells at people.
Yeah. Well, I made a video about Jake. It was funny because I used him against himself, essentially. So he made a video about Simon Dan. So I made a reply to that video, again, for the same reason, because replies always seem to do well, at least for me anyway. And he went absolutely insane. He was insulting me and making videos. And like I say, I don't care. But it was just the same sort of feeling I got from that. I watched it and I was waiting for him to kind of offer an alternative explanation as to why XYZ is possible. And he just never got there. It was just baldy, old, fat, thin, ugly, stupid, you know, just, which I know are all things I don't call flat earthers baldy or fatty or, you know, nothing. I'm not a child all the time. But, you know, I think, and, you know, this is possibly quite a brave thing to say, that I think I've found my own balance of factual information with my own odd humor, sort of framing it. If does that sort of...
That actually resonates with me because I like your approach.
Yeah, I try to balance both out. I don't want to be... I'm quite happy to say I'm not smart enough to be the science channel. You know, there's people who know way more than me. And luckily I know some of them and I ring them whenever there's something I'm unsure of. But I also don't want to be just the channel where people can say, and even people from our side of the argument could ever be able to say, yeah, but you don't do anything. You don't talk about science. You just call them stupid. So I think, you know, I'm fairly happy with the balance I've got between the two. And I think I apply it to whatever I'm talking about.
I think that you do as well. What you have, honestly, is like a heavy dose of common sense delivered in a very funny way.
And that's what I try to do, which is why I don't go over the top with explanations. And the other reason I don't go over the top with explanations when it comes to scientific things is because I also don't want people to be able to say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Creaky. You're just reading a script, which I am, and I've never pretended I'm not. But I've written that script, and I have to learn that stuff to be able to write it in that script. I can't just copy and paste a Creaky Blinder YouTube video from an article in Scientific America, because then it wouldn't be me.
Your channel, by the way, this is a compliment, even though the word it maybe isn't. Your channel reeks of you, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like you have a definite personality, and it comes through. And I don't know. I get a kick out of it. I don't catch a lot of your stuff.
Thank you, pal. That's very kind of you.
You don't have to thank me for being honest, actually. And I don't really truck and bullshit. So if I'm going to say something to somebody, I'm just going to let them know how I feel. And yeah, I enjoy your show. I also get a big kick out of your kid. He's really, really funny. You should make more stuff. That's like, yeah, he's a pistol. I like him.
Yeah, Callum has always been the live wire of the of my three sons. Always has been. Always has been.
That television show, you probably don't remember that because that's an American thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but a quick thing. You were talking about like some kind of like fitness channel. You're gonna try and get yourself in shape or something like that.
Yeah, I'm starting to do it tomorrow actually, and like I did put a community post up about it. It's just sort of, I'm not doing it for any reason other than I just want to feel a bit better about myself. I'm not so kind of lethargic, and you know, I sit in this chair. Today, you know, I didn't come in here at all. You know, I'm in, you know, because I'm live, but tomorrow I'll be in here by probably 6 a.m. and I probably won't leave here tomorrow until 6 p.m. at the very earliest. And I'm sat down the whole time. So, you know, waving your arms around isn't that good an exercise, it would seem. So I've got to do something given the fact that I'm also turning 50 in November.
Wow. Well, I'm actually 52, and I would like to do more of what you do, and maybe you should do some of what I do, because I'm a tour guide, which means I clock like 10, 15, 20,000 steps a day.
Yeah. Jesus,
so you
yeah.
get exercise doing that, and also I'm a tour guide in New York, so there's the stress of dealing with people that come to New York and expect, well, what they see on TV and not what this place is actually fucking like.
Yeah, it's always interesting, isn't it? Because I've said this so many times, that when I've never been to America at all, and I would love to.
If you come to New York, hit me up if you come to New York.
Now, this is what I was going to say, right? So, to me, so if somebody said to me, right, I'm going to pay, you can go anywhere in America you want. There's only two places I would even think of choosing. One would be New York, and one would be California, because they're off the TV. You know, it's kind of, to somebody like me who's never been to America, that when I think of America, it's I want to either go to New York or California because they are the most American places that I can sort of think of.
I can tell you right now from experience and plenty of it, California I can barely speak for because I haven't been out there that frequently, but if you're expecting what you see on TV, you're going to be horribly disappointed. Okay, it's just a bunch of normal people. We're genuinely and generally really nice.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a shock. I see people from all over the world every single day. They come to New York and they're just like, this is not what I expected at all. And I was like, yeah, because Tom Selleck isn't running around investigating murders or what the hell it is you're watching. But look, I mean, America is a wonderful place, but honestly, I would stick to New York or California. Maybe head on down to Texas, check out Austin.
Yeah.
Seattle's also an amazing city. There's a lot of really, really fun places.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you want like the intense dose, definitely like New York or California. And by the way, if you go to California, rent a car.
Yeah, yeah. But New York is one of the places, like I said, I've always wanted to visit. But going back to what you said earlier, I'm expecting it to be like I see in films, you know, on television programs. I've probably got no realistic expectations of what New York would actually be like.
You might want to watch more episodes of, I don't know, like comedies. It's also really weird because like Seinfeld was filmed in Los Angeles and so was Friends. And then people come to New York and they're just like, oh, da-da-da-da. It's like, no. And these are two very, very popular shows. People come and they're just like, you know, like the soup Nazi guy, he's up on the 55th Street and 8th Avenue. You go in there, everyone's cool. You know, they play in Washington Square Park in the credits, and that fountain doesn't exist in reality. It's way bigger in the actual Washington Square Park.
Right.
And they're playing in a mock-up in a back lot in Los Angeles. So there's so much smoke and mirrors going on, but that's the nature of television.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe I'll get there one day. I suppose I've you know, it's going to happen eventually. I'll just have to be a little bit more open-minded as to where I visit and why I'm visiting there, because obviously America is a country and not just what I see on the TV. So it's a strange one. It's a strange one. Right, Pat, it's been lovely to speak to you, but I got a couple of other people waiting to speak to me, so I'm going to jump over to the next call. Now, it was nice to speak to you, and call in again.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful for your time.
Take care, dude. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Stephanie, good evening. How are you?
Hello. I'm well, thank you.
Good. So you're not Southern tonight? This is posh Stephanie, or?
I don't speak with my Southern accent much, thank you.
You should never have told me that. You should never have told me that. But how are you doing anyway?
Well, I can always just, make sure people know that I am from Louisiana.
Exactly. You know, you're amongst friends. I've got no right to comment on anyone's accent. Well, actually, I possibly have, because, you know, I've always wanted one. I've just never found one I like enough to stick with the whole time. So, hence what you hear now.
See, I want a generic, plain old, no accent, just like you. But
yeah,
unfortunately,
exactly.
Unfortunately, this is how I speak. But
yeah.
No, in all honesty, now that I'm up north, I don't use my.
Yeah.
I don't often tell
we were
people
talking about it last when I spoke to you the other week, weren't we? My brother's the same. My brother's lived in England, in Hereford, for 20 years, and he doesn't sound anything like me, because he spent so many years adapting the way he speaks for easier understanding of the people that live around him, that he now speaks like that all the time.
Yep. Yeah. But I wanted to talk about your endeavor with your fitness.
Okay, one second. I've just remembered something, right? Sorry to interrupt you. I know it's very rude. So my brother, when my brother's drunk, he becomes very well. So do you become sort of, you know, full on?
Yes.
You do.
When I'm stressed.
Yeah, I'm glad we cleared that up.
When I've been drinking. Usually when I'm stressed, or if I'm mad, if I'm mad, forget it. You can't understand me. Yeah,
that's exactly the same happens with my brother. Anyway, sorry, Steph. You were gonna say you're excited because something, and I cut you off.
Well, like I said, it's not all about competition, but I am quite excited to measure my progress as I watch your progress.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just, this is why I want, because I have to document it anyway, and given what I do for a living, I thought it makes sense. You know, there'll be some people that are very interested, there'll be some people that don't care at all, and those people don't have to subscribe, they don't have to check how I'm doing or anything. I just thought it would be a fun thing to do, and something a little bit different, and something that's a bit more me and my real life. Yeah,
no, I think that's awesome. And I'm only a month younger than you, so, you know, I'm creeping up there as well.
It's weird. It's such a funny thought, because, again, I've said this before, and it's such a morbid thing to say, but I am well past the halfway mark of my life. So how long have I actually got left?
Exactly.
We don't know, do we? So you just do what makes you happy.
Well, plus I want to, you know, the more fit you are, the longer chances are you'll be here.
Yeah, there's that as well, obviously. Because, you know, again, you know, if I had a cat or a dog that was getting really old, I may take it to the vet just to get him checked over, you know. Is he or she healthy, you know? Are they well, whatever, you know? Overweight, underweight, is their diet good? But I would never do that. I don't want to go to a doctor unless I have to go to a doctor. But I probably at this age should, you know, at the very least be going to get the old special thumb that men of a certain age get, you know?
Yes.
But no, thank you. I'll just take my chances and hope for the best until I have to. I'm just not one of these people that goes to the doctors unless they're sick.
You must drive Mrs. Blinder nuts.
Yeah, I most definitely do. It probably took near enough a year to get me to go to the doctors the last time, at which point I found out I've got IBS, and that's why I've been having such issues with my stomach for so long. But it's like, well, I'm still here. I still get up every morning. I'm not dead yet, so it's all good.
Men. You guys make us nuts.
Yeah, I know. And see the other side of this, and obviously I won't mention any names, but two people that live on this planet, one male, one female, been married about the same length of time as me and Mrs. Blinder, same ages as us. Husband is Mrs. Blinder's age. The wife is a little bit older than both of us. And he's been having very similar symptoms to me. And I've been checked, so I know I'm good. So he went, started treating him for IBS. And now he's on palliative care. And there is absolutely nothing they can do for him. And he's 51.
So it wasn't IBS. It was some type of cancer?
Yes. Yeah, but well. Which has spread virtually everywhere because he's a man and men don't go to the doctors when they should. And now...
I bet his wife is so mad at him.
Yeah. It's horrible because they lost a child as well.
Oh, dear Lord.
I know. It's... suddenly become very depressing, isn't it? But the point I was trying to make is, I know I probably should go to the doctors, but I know I'm also not going to. Because
own it.
Man, yeah, exactly. It's pointless, lying to people, isn't it? It's like, maybe I'll go. No, I definitely won't. But I do also understand that people worry about other people as well, and sometimes the kinder thing to do would be to just give in and go, but we're all massively flawed.
I'm married. I do understand.
Yeah, so you've got one that doesn't listen as well then.
Yes, he never listened. We're separated at the moment.
Yeah.
Actually, we've been separated for like 5 years.
Right.
Best friends.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend is lovely. But I was not going to put up with him anymore.
Yeah. I've never understood that. See, how do I say this delicate? I'll just say it. I can't understand how somebody can be friends with somebody they, for all intents and purposes, used to be married to.
Well, he was cool enough for me to be interested in him.
Yeah.
And those things have not changed. Like, he was cool enough for me to be interested in him.
Yeah.
And the things that I don't like, now that we're not cohabitating, I don't have to deal with anymore.
Yeah.
But those cool things, they're still there.
Maybe it's just me, and maybe it's just my... So, for example, I've got a very, very low opinion of people who cheat. And I mean really low. I don't care whether it's a man. I don't care whether it's a woman. If you don't want to be married to somebody anymore, you leave. You don't cheat. Is the way I look at it. And if that's offended you in any way,
no, I'm not
it wasn't meant to.
He didn't cheat on me.
Yeah.
He didn't cheat on me. He cheated on me with his Xbox.
Yeah. That's a bit more forgivable, though, isn't it? I suppose. Well, it depends.
But we're married because of tax reasons and insurance.
I know. I know a couple, and they've been married 40 years plus, and they cannot stand the sight of each other. But they can't afford to not be married, at least on paper. Because of the tax breaks and whatever else. They can't afford to do it. So it's I don't know, I suppose some people are trapped, and they in varying ways. So I suppose the fact that you were able to remain friends and, like you said, keep the good bits and not have to put up with the bad bits, wouldn't be for me. But You know, I just...
Well, and also, you know my past.
Yeah.
You know, being in the sex trade, you don't have relationships like most people do.
Yeah,
Everyone is wonderful.
The only
Yes.
So it always puzzles me when people say, I'm not weird. Yes, you are. Everyone is. Every single person on the face of the earth has got things going on, or they do things that the man standing next to them might think, what the hell are you doing, you freak? That's really weird, because I don't do it.
Yes.
But can you
Yes, I
embrace
do
the
understand that, and
weirdness? You have to.
Absolutely. It makes life so amazing and interesting.
Because
Plus, if you have a lot of amazing weird friends, then that must mean that you're amazing and weird.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know, when people like the Daniel Pratt comment on the Level Earth Observer's video about you know, oh yeah, see, it proves too much tattoo ink affects your brain. So basically all he's doing is saying that, you know, tattooed people are stupid. But number one, what possibly makes him think I've never heard something like that before? Because I have. And it just, you know, what one person thinks is ugly and weird, another person thinks is really cool and beautiful to look at.
Well, yeah, and since you're never around the other people, then
yeah,
I guess you don't have to worry about what jackasses say.
Exactly. So and another thing that has always sort of been a thought in my mind, I think I've shared it before, is, you know, how can I explain this now? I know what I mean, but it's going to be difficult. So if you imagine a 50-year-old man in your mind's eye, you certainly do not imagine somebody that looks like me. 99% of people wouldn't.
Well, that's true, but the times are changing, and if you want to be honest, you know, 20 years ago, nobody thought about the fact that our parents had sex. You know, it's like my mom's in her 70s, and she's apparently got quite an active life. But 20 years ago, that would have been taboo to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. It's Padjo just said in the side chat now he wouldn't feel like himself without tattoos. I can't understand why some people would want to just blend into the crowd when you can just do things to yourself to make you stand out. Is it narcissism? Maybe. You know, but I just can't. It's
expressing your uniqueness.
I just don't want to be that 50-year-old man who's wearing corduroy pants and a button-up shirt and, you know, and sort of little silver-rimmed round glasses, you know, and loafers. I'm quite happy.
The mold has been broken. The Gen Z is a completely different monster than the boomers were.
Yeah.
And it is so amazing and so awesome that we are now in a time where we get to define ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And no one is allowed to define us. We are able to define ourselves, and that should make everyone free.
It should. I agree 100%. But does it? Because it can quite often be weaponized as well, can't it? As the comments under that video show.
Yep.
Sad state of affairs, Steph. Very sad state of affairs. Right, I'm going to bail on you now because there's other people waiting as well, which is surprising. I thought nobody was going to come on, seeing as this wasn't really a planned stream. So I'll speak to you soon, right?
Love you, bye.
Bye. Good evening, Joe Whip. How the devil are you?
Doing, Creaky?
I'm doing well. How are you, pal?
Pretty good. I was just off the golf course, and I... on Discord, I saw Pro was in the green room. I was in there.
Yeah.
I always love hearing. I always love hearing the sweet dulcet tones.
I know. If men's greatness was judged on their voices, Next Pro would be ruling the world. I have never heard such a smoothie.
Yeah, well, at least he'd be Prime Minister of the UK.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
least.
God, I don't know if anybody would want to be at the minute, because Doris isn't making friends, is he?
No, Boris is
He's an interesting
Boris is
character.
he is. He's Trump light.
Yeah. See, I've got no sort of, I wouldn't say I like or dislike him either way. I really haven't got an opinion on Boris, if I'm being honest. But what I do find strange about him is a couple of things. So probably in his career as a politician, he's always aspired to run the UK, to be the main man, the Prime Minister. And as if by some cruel twist, they say, oh, Boris, you know you've always wanted to run the country. It's your chance right now. Just as we're going into a national panic over a pandemic and people are not going to be able to visit their loved ones or earn money or do anything that free people get to do. And so he becomes Prime Minister then, and he's made a complete hash of it as far as I can tell. And he's been caught breaking the law, telling lies, whatever it may be, and he's still standing there saying, oh, it's fine, I meant well. He must have rhinoceros skin to not want the ground to swallow him up.
Well, he's probably the only person I've ever heard of that didn't know when they were at a party.
Yeah, I know. I've never accidentally been to a party. Definitely not. Not that I can remember, anyway. But maybe that's Boris's excuse.
Yeah, well, he's oh my God. Oh, what can I say? All the trouble we're having over here. So
yeah, I know.
Who am I to complain?
I know. It's just unfortunate that the world is such a messed up place for so many people at the moment, isn't it? There's so much going on everywhere. Certain parts of the world are getting it harder than others, and going through things that most of us hope we never have to go through, but yet it all still happens over and over again, doesn't it?
Yeah, we keep repeating the same stupid mistakes.
Yeah, I know.
It's just when you think things are going to get better, they get worse. So I don't know what it's with all the pandemic stuff. We've my wife and I and the rest of our family have gotten through it.
Yeah.
Pretty well. We're doing just fine. The only thing people ask me, well, don't you miss this? Don't you miss that? And my wife and I have been fortunate enough. We travel a lot. And I tell people the only thing I really, really miss, you'll love this, is going to England.
Yeah?
Yeah, we used to go twice a year.
Oh, really? Anywhere in particular? Was it London or other parts?
Mostly London.
Yeah.
Mostly London, but I've been up to Newcastle and up to Edinburgh and out to Bath and out to western parts of England.
Bath is a very, very nice part of the UK. I've been there many, many times. London, I've spent more time there than I care to remember. And I've never been to Scotland. I've always wanted to go to Scotland, but it's always been one of those places that we'll go, oh yeah, we'll do that next year. But next year never seems to arrive.
Well, part of my family is from Scotland, and when we went there, they asked if anyone here was related to the Camel clan, and I raised my hand, and I thought I was going to get hit with a stick.
Oh, really?
My clan's the clan that turned the rest of the clans into the British.
Yeah.
Which is why part of my family ended up in the U.S.
All right. You got banished, did you?
Yeah, I think so. People used to tell us when I was a kid that you come from a bunch of horse thieves.
Oh, right.
So I've always kind of worn that as a badge of honor.
Yeah. I've always wondered myself, are there any wrong uns in my family anywhere, further down the line? Because, not bad people, but, the differences in life 100 years ago, which isn't that long ago. There's people alive today that have seen that 100 years, but my mom's still around. She's 93. Yeah, this is my wife's grandfather. He died a number of years ago, but he was 3 weeks away from turning 100 when he died, and some of the things he saw during his lifetime, you know, he saw 2 world wars, you know, to give just one example. But I've, you know, my own grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was one of 8 children. Only 2 of them got to adulthood. One drowned, one got hit by a train. Couple of them died from ailments that kids used to get. You know, all those years ago. It just, the world seems a lot safer a place to be now, but still not massively appealing, you know, given what, you know, I can't imagine anybody would choose to be experiencing some of the things that you know, collectively we are having to experience now.
Well, one of my mother's sisters who passed away in the 20s, I think.
Yeah.
He died like 3 weeks before penicillin was announced.
Yeah.
Penicillin would have cured her.
I know. It's it's nuts, isn't it, to think of those differences?
Well, just think about what life was like before there was air conditioning.
Yeah.
You know, parts of, you know, you couldn't live in Florida in the summer without air conditioning.
Yeah.
It would be brutal.
Yeah.
And businesses used to shut down.
Really?
Up here in the Philadelphia area, like I was a trialer in a prior lifetime.
Yeah.
And you know, back in the 40s and 50s, they used to send all the secretaries and people home at noon in the summertime when it was really, really hot.
Yeah.
And the men the lawyers would sit around, they'd take their shirts off and sit at their desk in their undershirts.
Yeah.
Sweating their butts off. And just imagine what it was like without air conditioning.
Yeah. That's we don't have air conditioning in the UK. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the live stream, but my studio it's incredibly hot. Unbearably so in the summer. I literally have to go in and out of the room about every 10 minutes because I start finding that the air is so warm it becomes uncomfortable to breathe. And I've had air conditioning installed in my studio today, and I hate to say it, but I've been trying to look. I can't remember which button turns it off because I'm really cold. We're not used to it in the UK. we're either too hot or too cold. But the reason I said that is because what you said about air conditioning now. Houses in the UK don't have air conditioning. Well, wealthy people that own houses in the UK, they have, you know, if they build the house themselves, then they can specify that they want air conditioning installed during the build of the house. But we just don't have. It's never hot enough. It's never hot enough. I obviously I'm not sure. I don't know if I've missed you saying it or if you haven't said about where in the States you live. So I don't know if it's a very hot part or a very cold part. But in Swansea where I live, if it gets up to around, I don't know, 20, I know we talking centigrade, but it's Fahrenheit with you guys. So yesterday it was, no, the day before yesterday it was 27.5 degrees. And everybody was, oh my, it's so hot. What am I going to do? How am I going to survive? And it's like, that's probably, and a friend of mine, I've lost touch with him actually, but he lives in California. And I was telling him that story a long time ago because it's the same story every year. And he said in California, he said 27, he said that's hoodie weather. He said you put on extra layers. It's, you know, it's quite cool compared to what they're used to.
Well, you double it, so that's 54 plus 30. That's 84 degrees.
Yeah.
That's not hoodie weather.
Yeah. But you know, it's by comparison, I suppose. You know, if he's used to it being, I see it myself when you know, when we go on holiday to Spain. Spain, you know, it's a very warm country. It's not as warm as certain parts of the States, I know, but I see people walking around in there in the evenings, and I'm there like the typical British tourist, in a bloody tank top and with shorts on and sliders, and then you've got like the locals that are just finishing work with their coat, you know, their to me it would be a winter jacket and with their hoods up, and it's like either we're really stupid and we've got too excited about nice weather, or you know, they've got it right and we've got it wrong, and they are just more intolerant of cooler temperatures because they're so used to it being hot all the time.
Yeah, well, you get used to before I answer that, or sliders, what we call flip-flops.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, that's why I said sliders. Sliders go over your feet. Flip-flops go in
like,
between your toes, don't they?
So the sliders are like shower shoes.
Yeah, like prison shower shoes, yeah. That sort of thing.
I see a lot of them. I don't wear stuff like that.
Yeah, we wear them for fashion here for some bizarre reason. Just very quickly, Joe, before you carry on, somebody in the side chat, Robert, wants me to say, Llanfair pwll Gwyngellt o gerich windrobl Llandasilio go. I don't know why people keep asking me to say that. It's not that difficult to say. It's just the name of a railway station in North Wales. but anyway, sorry, Joe.
I live in suburban Philadelphia.
Right.
So we go from 95, like last week or so, it was 95 degrees freedom units Fahrenheit for several days in a row. And in the wintertime, we can go to 5 or 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So we have the gamut.
Oh, so you've got real weather then. Very hot in the summer, very cold in the winter.
Not only hot in the summer, but very humid in the summer.
Oh, geez. So 95 to see 95 degrees. That would be news here. That would be on the news. People would be advised to not go outside unless you have to. Be careful of the UVs and don't forget to wear a hat. That would be a daily thing on the news. That would warning us how to behave.
I always wear a hat when I'm outside.
And I do.
So, but I had to have both eyes done this year with cataracts. I couldn't see out of one eye.
Right.
Sun exposure. So I've got 2 new eyes now, and I threw my glasses away.
Nice.
That I've been wearing since the 2nd grade.
Yeah. My
trash.
My aunt had cataracts done. My mother's had it done as well, but my mother still needs reading glasses. But my aunt had worn glasses since she was a very small child, since she was about 6 or 7 years old. And when she had her eyes fixed and she didn't need glasses anymore, she was so used to wearing glasses, she went to the opticians and had them to put just blank lenses in her glasses.
Oh, really?
So that she can carry on wearing glasses, even though she doesn't need them. She had worn them for so long, she felt so uncomfortable without them. She didn't feel like herself. So she had clear lenses put in her glasses just so she could feel like herself.
Well, every now and then I'll reach up to adjust my glasses just out of habit.
Yeah.
That I don't have anymore.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did after the 2nd surgery, which is in the beginning of May, was on the way back from the medical facility where we had it done. We stopped in our optometrist we use, and I bought some Ray-Bans. I've never been able to wear Ray-Bans. So, now I got Diddy Bopper shades, if anybody out there remembers what Diddy Bopper shades were in the 50s and 60s. So see, I'm very LA now. Cookie. So look out.
I'm weird with glasses, so 99% of the time I don't care that I need to wear glasses. I'm just so used to I've only worn glasses full time for about 4 years. And then some days I just want to strap them to a rocket and blast them into space. Usually on a warm day, and if I'm trying to do something like, I don't know, trying to do some work in the garage or in the garden or something that involves, and when you get sweaty and they start sliding down your nose. But then I think when I take my glasses off, this is me from 5 years ago. This isn't what I look like anymore. Plus the fact that I can't see shit without them on.
Yeah, well, and now that I don't need glasses, wearing masks indoors is no longer very burdensome because I don't have glasses to fog up anymore.
Oh, you should, if my wife is cooking and she say, "Oh, could you just check the roasting?" So I'll open the oven door and I look like I've gone into a sauna with my specs on. I can't see nothing.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
Oh, it's horrible. Well, it's so inconvenient.
Here, if it's cold, like in the air conditioning, you go outside when it's hot, your glasses just fog up.
Oh, that's something to look for. Well, no, it's raining and cool outside anyway, but my studio gets uncomfortably hot in any weather, so I'm glad I've had it done, but I am a little bit chilly if I'm being completely honest.
Well, there was we went to a classical concert in London a couple years, I don't know, 4 years ago maybe, at St. Martin's in the Field at Trafalgar Square. They have a really nice classical music program.
Yeah.
And the conductor was, he said, well, tonight we're going to do of all these 4 seasons, we're only going to do fall and winter because everyone knows there's no spring or summer in the UK.
Yeah.
Everybody laughed at that.
People...
I guess you have to pick your... That was pretty. I thought that was pretty funny.
UK people, though, we are just never happy. It's either too hot, too cold, too wet, or too dry, and that's our 4 sort of different ways of gauging what sort of day it is outside. It's never it's never just right.
I just we've been going two times a year for 15 years.
Yeah.
I love England.
Yeah.
I will spend 6 months of the year over there if we could afford it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And how does the cost of living over here compare to the States then? Is it massively different or?
It depends on where you are.
Yeah.
London real estate, I mean, it's not as bad as it was prior to Brexit. Prices have come down with Brexit. There's a lot of people moved out of England.
Yeah.
To go back to Europe.
Yeah.
London's very pricey compared to the Philadelphia area.
Is it really? London is insanely expensive. Very quick story. So my youngest son was born with a really rare medical condition. The only hospital in the UK that could look after him was Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital in London. So we've been to London a lot his entire life. And when he was born, we were up there for a very long time, and we were staying in hotels, and it was becoming horrifically expensive because it's central London, but we had to pay. We had no option. And we looked at the possibility of renting an apartment or a flat or whatever it may be in London. Holy shit. 18 years ago, it was £1,000 a week to rent a studio apartment in London where we were. £1,000 a week. Who the hell is earning enough money to be able to pay £4,000 a month just to have a roof over their head?
Oh, I know. We retained. I went over there for about a week looking at real estate in West London.
Yeah. Over
in the Fulham area.
Yeah.
Which I thought would be a family area, and maybe it was cheaper. And they were showing me tiny little flats, like they were like $1 million to buy, and they were complete teardowns. I know. You'd have to gut the entire place to make it livable.
I know, it's absolute insanity. It's absolute insanity. No, we're not
doing that.
Yeah.
I said it'd be cheaper to rent a place for a month at a time for 20 years than buy a place over there.
You could buy a whole street of houses in Wales for that sort of money.
Yeah, but it's too far from. I mean, I'm a big football fan, so
yeah.
I've been going to football matches over there for a long time.
Oh, right.
So London's the place to be.
Most definitely.
Chelsea. Yeah, I've been a member of Chelsea for years, but I go to all the grounds. I've seen matches everywhere in London except Millwall. I won't go near Millwall. That's a whole nother beast. Millwall.
I don't follow football at all. I've got no interest in football at all. I never have had, not even when I was a child. But even I know that Millwall isn't a ground that you should just just go and visit because.
Yeah, because is right.
Yeah, you'd have to have a very good reason.
You value your life, you stay out of that stadium.
Exactly. Right, Joe, it's been lovely to speak to you. I got another couple to get through before I finish, so I will say goodbye, sir.
Always a pleasure, Creaky.
Thank you, dude. Take care. Bye. Good evening, Nex. Without a T, how are you? Muted, I see. Or just building the anticipation.
Is it okay?
Yes, I can hear you now. How are you doing, pal?
Sorry, I turned my mic off for some reason.
They don't tend to work that well that way.
You're the tech guy, not me.
Well, I wasn't going to say. As you know, my streams are completely flawless and never, ever have any mistakes in them that aren't done intentionally for comedy value, I mean, You know how I roll, Nex?
Probably better now than you will once you've lost weight.
I was just going to say, and now everybody that saw my community post knows how well I don't look fat, do I?
No.
But I am at the same time. How does that work? It's truly bizarre.
It's the big 50.
I think it is, because my dad started to inflate in the same place I'm now inflating at exactly this age. I remember it. My grandfather, my dad's dad.
Actually, I saw your ma and pa on the Gogglebox the other day.
Yeah.
The Welsh couple.
You know, they're not a million. If they were, I don't know, 10 years older, you wouldn't be far wrong.
They sound just like you, to me anyway.
They're from Caerphilly, they are. Jack and Vera from Coronation Street. Is that Jack Duckworth and Vera Duckworth from Coronation Street from many moons ago?
Pass.
You're not too young to remember Jack and Vera, or are you far too cool to have ever watched Coronation Street?
It's been an extremely long time since I've watched any TV series.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar myself, to be honest. It's all box sets for me. But Jack and Vera, Google them. That's what my mother and father look like. Pretty much as if my mother and father used to play those characters. But with a Welsh accent, obviously. They, yes, they do look like that. But it means nothing if you don't know who they are. Well, how are you, sir, anyway? I'm being very selfish tonight and just talking about myself.
Well, I'm on the verge of elation.
Really?
And the reason is, our I was going to say good friend. I can't say it.
That could be so much. Oh, him.
Has got a bit of a shock coming.
Has he really?
And the reason I say that is
he's found out God doesn't exist.
No. So you know, he says stuff like rocks to jocks, goo to you, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Because
he's such a scientific genius, obviously.
Yeah. And we have no explanation for abiogenesis, right?
Or aobigenesis.
It now seems that actually we may have that explanation.
Really?
Yeah. So it turns out that a scientific study that's been taking place has revealed that the process of producing RNA for the very, like just spontaneously, is not that hard for the Earth to do. It's quite simple, and we're probably going to end up with, when I listen to what they were saying, we're probably going to end up with like little kits that you'll have in the classroom, and you'll put some water in it, and then RNA will come out. Just from basic chemistry and everything. It turns out it's really an easy thing to do.
And would there be a video on Mr. Powell's channel discussing said topic?
It's one of the things he likes to mention a lot, actually. So I think it's going to be interesting. I wonder if they're going to come around and say, yes, well, the only reason that could happen is because God made volcanoes.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff, because they do like to adopt science that suits
them. They do. I think the cool guys call that cherry picking.
Indeed.
Of which Mr. Powell is extremely proficient, because every time he talks about something and I'm able to find the article or the paper or whatever it may be that he is talking about, he always leaves out the crucial bit that exposes him as a complete moron that is only telling people the bits he thinks they need to hear.
And his uncle, Kent, is even more guilty of that. I mean, the way he edits stuff is just astonishingly.
I know.
And of course, the stupidity of it is that we can all see it.
Yeah. So it's
just his hope that it's.
Did you see me post that Forrest Falkei had done a video about Matt Powell? Or I may have spoken about it last Sunday. Remember I had Forrest on the There We Are Then podcast? Yeah. Yep. So he's released an episode of Reacteria. Hang on a second. Next, no far Cohen. Apologies. I did put your message up on the screen earlier on because I wanted to remind myself to say hello to you. And even though it's been sitting on the screen right underneath me for the last 10 minutes, I still forgot to do it. So apologies. Good evening, Nofat. It's lovely to see you. I haven't seen you in a live stream for a while. Let me get rid of that comment.
Before you continue, just remind me that I've got a title for your series,
Ah, right. Okie dokie.
your channel.
Okie
So
dokie.
when you finish explaining this, just remind me to remind you of that.
I will
season.
do. I will do. Right. Sorry, mate. I interrupted you yet again.
No. You were going to tell me about the Valkyrie thing.
Oh, was I? So I interrupted myself. That's a new one, even for me.
I interrupted you.
All right. Okay. Anyway, what were you saying? Yeah. So Forrest, he did a video about Matt Powell, and it was probably the best thing I have ever seen in a response to a Matt Powell video. It was absolutely out of this world. Now, I know you've heard me say it because I say it quite frequently. He probably has forgotten more about science than I could ever wish to learn. And when I hear somebody like Matt Powell say something that so initially I just suspect that it's not right, and then I go and have a look and, you know, see what I can find, blah, blah, blah. And Forrest, so Matt Powell can say something, and Forrest or somebody of an equivalent sort of educational level to Forrest, they just know how wrong that is and why it's wrong. And some of Forrest's explanations in that video, and you know, because of the way he carries himself, because he's so animated and he bounces around and he's very excited about science and, you know, very enthusiastic. He's really young, sickeningly good looking. It was just absolutely brilliant to watch. Absolutely amazing, because he made Matt Powell look like an absolute moron. And I know he does that himself, but it was glorious, Next. I really, really would recommend watching it if you haven't yet. It is a longer video. It's about 40 minutes long. Fantastic.
The thing is, of course, is that Valkyrie is teaching to the already converted, right? Preaching to the converted, because you know, we're on his side. And the people that are, you know, the guys that believe in Powell and Hovind, I think they are never ever going to watch that video.
No,
unfortunately.
no, so definitely not. Definitely not.
But Forrest's efforts are really, really appreciated.
Oh yeah, he's such a smart guy. He's such a smart guy. Yeah. Next, I hate to cut you short, right? But I got one more person wanting to speak to me, and go on.
Your channel name, The Creaky Grinder.
The Creaky Grinder. That sounds like a euphemism, but I will give it careful consideration.
What did I do? Exit stage left.
I'll speak to you soon, pal, right?
See ya.
Take care, Next. Bye. Captain Welshie, how you doing, pal?
I'm alright, mate. I'm really good. How yourself?
Oh, living the dream. Me living the dream.
Oh, that's good.
I've always wondered what you sound like.
Yeah, well, I am Welsh. I'm actually from the southeast side of Wales, so...
So where are you from?
Well, I don't want to dox myself, but I live around... I live in between Newport and Pontypool, that neck of the woods.
Yeah, I know roughly where you are then. I know roughly where you are. Yeah.
Without giving too much away.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. The internet is a place that's fraught with danger. Even for the most anonymous of us, it is something that is not a constant worry, but people are dicks, aren't they? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? People can be dicks, me included. We all can, but I don't really want them turning up at my front door being a dick, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Especially what's been happening recently within the the anti-fraud of the community and all that.
It's a flipping nightmare, and an absolute nightmare. So what's happening then?
Not much. Just been just trying to get back to normal, like everyone else have, actually, to be honest. And just been watching like the TT and all that. That's absolutely batshit insane.
It's nuts, isn't it, the TT? I stumbled across a video because I'm on TikTok all the time, because I am that young and cool. And guy, I can't remember his surname now. Guy Martin. They were showing his fastest lap around the Isle of Man TT. Oh my word!
It was at the time it was the fastest recorded ever on camera.
It was the fastest ever. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just his fastest. honest to God, it was literally, it was like it was being played at, you know, higher than normal speed. It was that fast. Now, I ride a bike. How can anyone ride that fast? You can't. It's impossible.
Well, the thing is, when you sign up to do the Isle of Man, or any other pure road race, because there's two different nowadays. They've got two types of motorcycle racing. You've got your track racing, which you can race at Silverstone, Magellos, your Spas, and then you got the TT, the Northwest 200, Ulster, and Macau, and it's absolutely the pure road racing is just absolutely batshit insanity.
Oh, it's nuts! It is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But am I right in thinking there's been more riders killed on the Isle of Man race than any other race?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a sad number. I think it's over.
It's a lot, like, innit?
I think it's over. I know it's over 250.
Is it?
More, yeah. Since they started racing on the mountain course around 1911.
Jeez.
There've been over 250 killed on it.
Do you know the worst one I can remember? And it's really the only one I can specifically remember. And I used to remember the guy's name, and of course, because I want to talk about it now, I can't. But there's it's not a bend. It's sort of more of a wiggle in the road. But on they go over a bridge, and it's a little bit of a hump. This bridge is, and on the right, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? I can't think the name of the section now. I know. I think is it a pub or is it somebody's house? Or
there's a pub on the right hand side.
And he comes across and he literally just hits that wall doing about 150 mile an hour.
Yeah, he was. He died on impact.
Yeah, they reckon it would have been. He probably wouldn't even have known anything about it. It would have been instantaneous. You know, he was going so fast. He was, you know, without sounding cruel, he was more or less just a stain on the wall when he. It was that bad an accident, like.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the bloody corner.
I know, but I used to remember it, and I can't now.
My favourite section of it is like the mountain part of it, when you go from, I think it's like from the bottom of Ramsey all the way up the mountain mile, and you see him coming down back to Douglas.
I know,
and you see the views up there. I actually bought the pay-per-view channel. It's the first time this year in 115-year history of the race they actually have live television coverage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that'd be cool, as because that's the fastest section up there as well, near the mountain section.
There's three very fast sections. There's the run from. Oh, you put me under the spotlight now. Yeah,
no, I say, I'm shit at remembering stuff. I am, honestly.
Yeah, there's like Cronkabody straight, where it's not straight. It's like it's basically like a straight, but it's like humpbacks and all that, and it's just absolutely, and especially with the modern bikes now, especially the big 1000cc bikes, super bikes, they're just wheeling all the time.
Yeah, I know.
And of course, then you got the first section, which is like you go down from the start all the way down to like Quarter Bridge. Yeah, that is absolutely insane.
Bonkers it is, because you know, like you were saying, there's road racing and there's track racing. You've got to be brave to do track racing. You know, I've ridden bikes fast.
Any form of motorsport is dangerous.
Oh Christ, But to do road racing like the TT, you've got to be nuts to do that. Not brave. You've got to be absolutely off your box.
Even the great Valentino Rossi, when he came to do a demonstration lap with the great Giacomo Agostini, said. And they were cruising probably about 140 mile an hour, him and Argo. Yeah. And he said that he wouldn't even do it. Yeah. And you know, this is Valentino Rossi, the greatest rider of his generation.
Yeah. And the thing is, with speeds like that, it's difficult to comprehend either if you've never ridden a bike or been a passenger on a bike, you haven't got a yardstick for it. You've got no comparison to make. You know, not everybody is a nuts driver, you know, bombs down the M4 at like 140 mile an hour at 2 o'clock in the morning when they're coming back from watching motocross racing in Cardiff. No, it wasn't me. What made you think it was me? No?
I don't know.
I tell you, the boat in Lake Impile passed by me really quickly.
Yeah.
But, you know, unless you've been at really high speeds, how do you gauge that? Because 140 mile an hour on a bike, that's like mind-blowingly fast. Things happen.
Yeah.
Quickly isn't even the word to describe it. They happen instantly, and then they're gone.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, it's just like, and you've got to move things at minuscule levels. You can't jerk, or you can't like really make really fast turns at those speeds.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all
exactly.
Minute adjustments.
Yeah. Oh Christ.
But, like, my favorite class of racing was always the 250s. I never liked like the big 500s or anything like that, because the simple fact, the 500s always used to bore me.
Yeah, because everything happens too quickly. It's harder to follow as well, isn't it? Because literally all you see, especially if you're watching it on TV, you know, all you're seeing is a shot of, say, that pub I was talking about earlier on, and then you go, ping, ping, ping.
Yeah, the TT is...
Were they bikes, or what happened then?
Yeah. The problem with the TTO is such a unique event. It's not like a permanent racetrack where you have about maybe... you have maybe 10 to 15 cameras around a normal racetrack, and you can kind of follow really what's going on, because you have like proper timing, you can like with different like set splits. With the TT, obviously it's the first time this year they've actually done it live. So what I found watching the racing on Saturday, I found it a little bit confusing. Because it was obviously the first. They also had like the practice shown live as well this week. And but that was the first time they did the racing, and it was a little bit. It first off is a little bit confusing, because I think like the director didn't know where everybody kind of was, because with the TT as well, a lot of people don't realize it's a time trial, so everyone leads over 10-second intervals. With say like a MotoGP or a normal British Superbike race, it's a mass start, which means everybody leaves at the same time. But it's like I've been watching the TT for years, and it's just crazy the speeds what they're doing here now.
I love it. I do. It's nuts. It is. It's one of the only. I don't watch it religiously, but if anything comes up about it, I watch it, because I've never been like a sports fan of any description, but there's certain things like, and the Isle of Man TT is one of them, that I'm just like in awe of the skill that those riders have got, because it's nuts. It is absolutely nuts. But there we are. It is what it is, isn't it? Takes nuts people to make the world go round, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
And you know, I've just realised something that nobody but you could have done. People have asked me in the side chat before, and I've talked about it. What do I sound like, kind of in my normal day-to-day? Because I was speaking to somebody else from Wales, and somebody who's not that far from me. That conversation was kind of a bit more what I would normally speak like.
Yeah.
I think I forgot myself.
When you got two Welshmen together, we talk like Gatling guns, and this is the chat. And I'm actually trying not to speak really, really fast, because even some of our UK friends think, what the hell is he talking about?
I was telling a story a couple of weeks ago. We go back and forth to London a lot. We used to go back and forth a lot. My boy was born with a medical condition, and he gets looked after by Great Ormond Street in London. So we used to go up and down there like 5-6 times every year. And we were up there once, and I still smoked at the time, right? And I went in a Sainsbury's up there, and I went in and I said, can I have 20 Lambert and Butler and half ounce to go in Virginia? I'm guessing you perfectly understood what I said then. Yeah. And the woman looked at me and she said, what? Excuse me? I said, and she said, can you say it again, but a little bit slower? And I said, can I have 20 Lambert and Butler and a half ounce of Golden Virginia? That shows how long ago it was. They haven't done half ounces for years. And she said, I thought you were speaking a different language. I said, no, it's English. I said, I'm Welsh. Just shut up and give me my fags. It's bonkers, it is. So if anybody's ever wondered what I sound like speaking to people day to day, like this, because Captain Welsh, he is up the road. And
there's another thing as well with Welsh dialect as well. We always say "but" at the end of the sentence, especially in the valleys where I'm from. It's like a Canadian thing. How you doing, eh? Oh, great, eh? Fantastic, eh?
A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, and again, I've lost touch with him. He's from Bather. I don't know how far you are from there, and I don't want you to tell me, but I'm sure you know where Bather is. And he was like, if somebody from Wales thinks of what somebody from the Valley sounds like when they're talking, they sound like my mate John. Everybody in the Valley sounds like my mate John, and he used to get really. The more drunk he'd get, the Welsher he would get.
Yeah.
Until in the end, half the time, I couldn't even understand him.
Yeah. It was like, oh, how are we doing, Bat? Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic, Bat. How was your week, Bat? Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Do you still with us,
Exactly.
yeah, mate? Oh, they were crap, Bat. Terrible, Bat.
But isn't a Swansea thing? We don't say but down here that much, really, see? It's just not... I don't know, it becomes more up your neck of the woods is more for that, isn't it?
Yeah, my neck of the woods, it's commonplace.
Yeah. Because, you know, I got friends up in Merthyr as well. My mate owns a tattoo shop in Merthyr. And, yeah.
I've been to Merthyr a few times, but you need body armor to go up there.
I know, we must have done something right, because you were talking to me now. So, but yeah, Merthyr's a different planet within Wales, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
I remember Owen Money. I saw Owen Money saying a joke, and he used to say, "I'm from a small town outside Hoover called Merthyr Tydfil." Again, anybody who's watching this, now when they're not Welsh, they haven't got a clue what we're talking about. But
yeah,
actually,
past that factory. I try to think what is it now. If I say it's still a Hoover factory. I can't think. Is it Candy? I think it is now.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I think Candy own Hoover now, don't they? Well, Ben Speed has just said in the side chat, mush is more of a would be the Swansea equivalent of butt.
Oh,
and it would be.
You just remind me of a song.
Oh, mush.
Yeah, who do you think you are?
we went to see him once in a local club. Seeing him doing that live, it was so funny. There we are. If anybody watching this now, right, because I got to call it a day, I'm running over. But if anybody wants to see the Welshest things they've ever seen in their life, right, and they're all on YouTube, so type into YouTube, the Mush song, MUSH, the Mush song. I thought that's what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it. But type in the Mush song and watch that, and then type in Twin Towns and watch Twin Towns, which was all filmed in Swansea and Port Talbot, which is my neck of the woods. And it's it'll be the Welshest thing. If you think I'm really Welsh, it'll be the Welshest thing you've ever seen, ever, anywhere on the internet. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Right, pal, I'm going to have to bail because I got to...
That's all right, bud.
I got to kill the stream and everything. Nice to speak to you, mate. Right, call in again, right? We'll have a chat again.
Oh, no problem. It's all right, Creekers.
Nice one. Top man. Ta-ra, pal. Ta-ra, bud. So there we are. I honestly didn't notice that I'd run over by 15 minutes. Apologies. I got so into that conversation then because he's a fellow Welshie that I forgot I was live for a minute. Ordered in the Absurd. Good evening. No, the new channel hasn't even been set up yet, mate. I'm going to be setting it up in the next couple of days now. Probably going to be doing one full-length video a week, and I may throw one or two shorts up, throughout the week, depending on how I can fit it in around this, and obviously all the new commitments I've made by agreeing to do this thing that is starting to not seem like the best idea I've ever had. Thank you very much indeed to everybody that super chatted. Thank you to everybody that called in. Thank you to everybody that stuck around for the entire stream. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. If you're not subscribed to the There We Are Then channel, which is where I do this, but with a lot more structure and guests, then head over there now. And all that remains to be said is